jail?
Not fun at all.
Wonderful. I hope you have a rotten hell of a toilet experience because then you learn.
Sir,
Now, all we know that you do is you take off. You don't show up. And the only way we get you is when you pick up new cases. How old are you, Mr. Guzman?
23. 23.
You're 23 years old. You now here with us, you have an unlawful carrying of a weapon. We have it 2003. That case is around a year and a half old. You now have picked up a DWI. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and up to a $2,000 fine on the DWI. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On September 9, 2024, deputy was dispatched to an accident. Complainant one saw a black pickup truck coming towards her in lane of traffic. The truck swerved around her and clipped her front end, causing the truck to go into a ditch. Complainant one saw the defendant's face and saw him operating the vehicle. Complainant one saw the defendant exit his vehicle, go to the rear of his truck, and take off the license plate. Defendant then retrieved a bottle from the inside of his vehicle. Complainant one stated she saw the defendant leave the scene on foot. Deputy was advised by
He
dispatch.
took the bottle with him on foot, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
Deputy was advised by dispatch that a second accident was possibly caused by defendant's vehicle at 323 Gulf Bank Road. Complainant 2 was rear-ended by a black pickup truck, causing her to rear-end another vehicle while waiting on the stoplight. Complainant 2 stated she was only able to see the black pickup truck fleeing the location. Defendant was brought back to the scene where he was identified by complainant 1 as the driver of the vehicle and the person she saw leave the scene. Defendant had slurred speech, could not keep his balance, and had bloodshot red eyes. Defendant stated he drank 8 12-ounce cans of Modelo beer around midnight and received a call from his friend to go to their house in Gulf Bank Road to continue drinking. SFSTs were administered. HGN was 6 out of 6. Walk in turn was 7 out of 8. One leg stand was 3 out of 4. Paramedics transported the defendant to the hospital for high blood pressure. Deputy did not have a chance to read DIC. Defendant could not stay awake. Blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
Can you, a couple things,
Yes.
you run as NCIC, what other criminal history does Mr. Guzman have? Number
Your Honor.
Number 2, does he have a Texas driver license? Do you have a Texas driver license?
Had.
Do you have
Yes, sir.
a Texas driver license?
Had.
Is it valid?
I don't remember what happened to it. I lost a copy of it.
Regardless, I don't care if you have a license or not. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. And I don't care what the hell is going on in your life. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time your happy-go-lucky butt gets into a car and drives. Not only that, because you are in utter public danger, I am now going to raise your bond and make it extremely high. If you get out, what?
I promise I won't do it again.
Sure. Like you promised us the last 3 times?
I didn't have no way to get to court. I didn't have no job. I didn't have nothing. I was homeless.
Your Honor, he has no criminal history besides the UCW and DWI. That's all he has.
Wonderful.
I was homeless, so I couldn't do nothing.
Mr. Guzman, did you hear the facts in the DWI?
Yeah.
Do you see how many people could have really been maimed? Sorry?
I'm ashamed of myself.
Good.
Judge, he does have a,
Start to actually appreciating what happened in your case, because in Harris County here, every single day, someone dies from a DWI, and I'm not going to let you do it on my watch. Yeah, you're staying with me. And I'm going to tell you now, if you get lucky to where someone's going to pony up the money to get you out, you will be under a curfew because I don't want you out at night. I'm also on your other ankle going to put an ankle monitor so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. Do you understand? As it stands now, you will be stuck like Chuck with me unless someone bonds you out. Because I know if I let you out, history dictates what's going to happen. You got little wings on your back. Fly, little birdie, fly. No more.
Judge,
Tell me.
in the event that we work out a deal today, I still have
No,
to ask, Judge.
you know what would happen, right?
I still have to ask on his behalf.
I know, but what that would be doing is that would be setting him up to failure, letting him plead guilty just so he gets out. It'll be absolutely failure. Because what's gonna happen, you're gonna get out there and hopefully.
All I can do is,
I swear, I promise.
you don't have to say anymore. Okay, he already knows, but he already has his mind made up.
Mr. Guzman, how many times have you promised that to us before?
That one time,
Plus two more, when we gave you two more PR bonds on your unlawful carrying of a weapon. The only reason you are here now,
homeless.
does that
I
justify?
had no way to do anything.
You take the Dodge Patas, man. Homeless, yet you're driving a truck, right?
I know more.
Don't say anymore, okay? Trust me. Anything you say is just gonna make it worse. That's okay. Sorry.
Can you order an interlock, please, for this gentleman, Victoria? So here's what we're gonna do. I think that what I'd like to do is before we work any deals with Mr. Guzman, I'd like to have him TRAS to see what's going on with his life.
If he is in custody, if you can just make that an immediate
Absolutely.
TRS.
We'll move quick. We always do, just like my wife. So we could probably have it done this week and then have results early next week. I want to know what's going on in your life, Mr. Guzman. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you evaluated by clinicians. And I'm going to tell you now, if I get that back and it tells me that your little gumdrops and tulips and you have no issues, I'm going to send you right back to do it again because I know it's not true. I want you to be honest with the clinicians. If I come back and I see that it's not true, I'm going to send you right back to do it. And all you're going to be doing is waiting further. Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay, we'll see what the TRAS says and we'll go from there. If they
Also-
say that you need inpatient treatment, that may be it. But I don't know what's going on in your life. All I know is that I want my Houston, my Harris County protected. And when you're out there, it's not like that.
Judge, just wanted to clarify the two bonds, you're keeping that, you're gonna raise them to 5,000
5,003.
each.
Mr. Guzman,
Yes, sir.
no. It doesn't make me happy keeping you in, but you got to understand that when you have that kind of drama behind you, it's not a good thing. And we're
Apologize, sir.
we end it now until you really do some catastrophic damage that you can never undig yourself from a hole.
Understand.
All right, good luck. Thanks, John. So you tested positive for marijuana.
I use it.
Stop it. I'm not asking you to justify. I'm just telling you now, it must stop.
Yes, sir.
I'm warning you now not to use any kind of marijuana, not to use alcohol. And I'm telling you, I'm going to test you in a little over 31 days. If you test positive again, I will put you in jail.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Forewarned is fair warned.
Yes, sir.
Did you say that you were going to hire a lawyer?
I don't have the money to, I was gonna see if I could get a court appointment.
What do you do for a living?
I work. I'm currently looking for a job at the moment.
And when is the last time you've had a full-time job?
May, and beginning of May,
Doing what?
bartending / serving.
Why'd you stop?
Trying to get out of the industry and was trying to find something with more of like 9 to 5
Well,
off.
typically you try to find something first and then you quit, right? Not the other way around.
Yes, sir.
I'm now making it a condition of your bond that you also get a full-time job.
Yes, sir.
I will appoint a lawyer today, but I'm telling you, you must get a full-time job. And if you don't, you know what's going to happen.
Yes, sir. My mom's already moved from here, so that's just an extra thing to motivate me even more.
Say that again.
My mother's already been putting out.
I would stay with your mom as long as you can and try to save up as much as you can. There's nothing wrong with that, you
She,
know?
I was just saying that gives me extra motivation to find a full-time job, sir.
I'm not going to let you be a bum and smoke weed all day and do nothing. Do you understand? It's going to change. Otherwise, you'll be working, cutting grass in the jail, one way or the other. All right, I will have you, we need him to fill out an application. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, Eventually, you'll also get with Rachel for your bond conditions, and then I'll have you talk to a lawyer here momentarily. Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, he was sent over to immigration and then he was brought back. So that's why he has 10 days credit. And they've already made a decision in immigration to deport him for him.
Really?
So he's already has his deportation papers.
25.
How long have you been in the United States?
2 months.
Sorry?
2 months.
If you want to be in this country, don't violate the law. You now know that there are severe consequences. You're now going to end up being deported. I don't know if you're ever planning on coming back. The only thing I'm going to advise you is that if you come here without proper documentation, going through the proper channels, it's a minimum of 5 years in federal custody for an illegal reentry charge. So I would be very careful how you just try to come in. When you do things the right way, good things happen. Do you understand, Mr. Betis Morales? Not only that, if you do decide to come back without the proper channels, don't get into trouble, right?
So,
All right. The other thing I'm going to advise you is this is a reckless driving case. This is a serious case because you're facing a lot of time in jail. You have worked an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail, credit for the time that you've done. So you're basically done with your time here. But this is a type of crime where the Texas legislature has made it very easy for district attorneys across the state of Texas. When you pick up these cases where you act dangerously in a car, they've made it very easy for them to take and seize the cars away from you permanently. So I would be very careful because if you ever come back, you start driving like this again, you may lose whatever car you're driving permanently forever because they will seize it and take it from you forever. Do you understand?
yes, sir.
Now, you give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront, cross-examine accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, as you now know. They can exclude you from entry into the United States or deny you citizenship. This and more criminal cases you pick up, you're only hurting yourself even more, especially with immigration issues. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement and once you plead guilty, you can never change this. It will stay like this forever. You understand? How do you plead to the offense, sir? Guilty or not guilty? I don't know if I said he's facing 6 months. You're facing 30 days and a $500 fine. So I don't know if I said that earlier, but that's what you're facing. But you've worked out an agreement for the 30 days. So how do you plead again? I'll find you guilty. Follow the agreement. And good luck to you, sir. We'll roll your court costs so you won't learn anything as well. Thank you. Really?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty slow.
That's right.
Thursdays too sometimes. Mr. Morelli, sir, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You're also charged with resisting arrest. Looks like you guys have worked out a plea bargain where they're going to dismiss the assault in exchange for your plea on the resisting. This is a good deal. You know, really, you're avoiding a lot by getting this assault dismissed. I hope you really take it because it's not going to happen again. You ever pick up an assault here, they're going to see that you have a prior one. And I tell you, as a matter of course, once they see one dismissed, they don't do it again. Do you understand? You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. Do you understand? This is what you want to do. How do you plead to the officer, guilty or not guilty? How do you plead guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty. Follow the agreement. We'll roll your court costs. What kind of times are you looking at? What? 50 days in jail. We will give you credit for the 50 that you've done, so it's a wash. Good luck to you, sir. Thanks, guys. Take care. This is Lounni. Are you Jacob Lonevong? Did I say it correctly?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lonevong, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions, and any of these of the state of Texas, if you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Officers note the complainant who stated his nephew assaulted him. The complainant stated that he went to retrieve a vehicle from the defendant, the 11 Borrow. The defendant pulled up to the residence in another vehicle and got out to confront the complainant. An argument ensued. The complainant turned around to walk away from the defendant. As the complainant walked away, the defendant threw close hand strikes, hitting the complainant in the back of the head. Officers observed 2 bruises and swollen knots on the back of the complainant's head, as well as swelling and bruises to the left side of the face.
Okay. Do we know if this complaining witness wants to have contact with Mr. Lonevong?
Judge, I think no threatening and harassment would be appropriate. We spoke to the complainant. He's not denying what happened, but he doesn't seem particularly interested in jail or anything like that.
All right, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, sir. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any threatening or harassing contact with the complaining witness and not to be in possession of any weapons. There's a protective order that's been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you violate the protective order, the state can and will file a violation against you. That's another case, and I'm telling you, it's one of the worst cases you can pick up. You got out of jail because you got a free bond. Behave yourself while you're out there in the free world, because if you don't, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? What do you do for a living?
Aircraft refueling.
Sorry?
Aircraft refueling.
Okay, how old are you, bud?
What did you say?
How old are you? You're 20. How much money you make a month? $3,000. That's great. You make that much money. Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. That's really great that you're doing that. Just keep up the good work. Stay out of trouble. I don't want to have to put you in jail. Do you understand? So for now, I'm going to have you get a Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the first pew over there while we get your bond conditions. Don't leave until you have bond conditions in your hand. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir. Come on. So do you mind filing no threat?